Hey y'all, so first of all I just want to say welcome to my channel. And y'all, I know I have been promising you all a video of where I have been. I know I had one missing for 2 weeks and I'm ready to explain. So if y'all follow me on Facebook, you will already know. So our huge announcement is we're pregnant. Y'all, so me and my husband are expecting our third child, y'all. Our third child. After 7 years, y'all. My youngest daughter is 7 years old, so it's just like super crazy. So first of all, let me give y'all a baby bump. So I don't know if y'all can really tell. I'm only 4 months, so it's giving what it's giving, okay? Okay, y'all, let me sit back down. So I know y'all like, okay, so why have you been gone or whatever? So it's related to my pregnancy, y'all. So I'm officially in my second trimester. But when I tell y'all my first trimester was hell, it was hell, y'all. And I still try to like, do videos or whatever. I know y'all probably could tell like my energy was a little off. And then I started posting like old videos. So y'all probably like, this video look familiar. Yes, it's because I started posting old videos trying to keep up or whatever. But y'all, let me tell y'all what I've been going through. Okay, and ladies, let me know if y'all can relate, okay? Because this is my third pregnancy, right? I did not go through this in my first two pregnancies. My first two pregnancies were smooth, okay? I didn't have no problems, no complications. So the first thing that I had, obviously, was morning sickness, which I did have with my other two pregnancies. That's the only thing that I had with my other two pregnancies. So we're going to start from the beginning, okay? So I'm at work one night, and I'm telling my husband, like, I feel sick. Like, I'm texting him or whatever, like, babe, I feel sick. Like, I thought I was hungry, but I just ate, and I feel sicker. So he like, I don't know, babe, you might be pregnant. And in my mind, I started putting little pieces together. And I'm like, yo, you might be right. And he like, no, I'm just playing. He was like, that was a joke or whatever. And so I'm like, no. I'm like, but listen, because, I had been peeing a lot like the week prior to. And I was like, dang, you might have a UTI. Like, you might have to go to the doctor or whatever. So I'm telling myself in the back of my head, when you get an off day, schedule you a doctor's appointment or whatever so you could go get checked out or whatever. Like, because why am I peeing so much or whatever? And then not only that, like, I was just feeling so sick or whatever. And it's crazy because I was on the phone telling my friend, like, I think this third shift is catching up to me or whatever because I haven't worked third shift in years. So, here I am, like, the first few months, like, the money was good or whatever. I'm like, but I'm thinking it's starting to catch up to me because I'm starting to feel like, super sick, super tired or whatever. And so like all those little pieces that came together, and then that particular night when I was sick, and like I said, I thought I was hungry, and what I'm saying, because I hadn't eaten all day, and I went to go get something to eat, and I ate, and I was still I was still sick or whatever. And so that's when I had started texting my husband. So I'm trying to explain all of this stuff to him, and he's still like, no. He like, just go to the doctor or whatever. He was like, we ain't pregnant. And which in our head, we can't get pregnant because I know this is a little TMI, but me and my husband ain't used condoms in a while. Like, what I'm saying? Our youngest daughter is 7. I don't think we used them since or whatever. So we you know what I'm saying? We can't get pregnant. News flash, right? Okay. So I that night at work, I placed a Walmart order for delivery for a pregnancy test or whatever. So it came at like 8 o'clock in the morning. So when I got off of work, it was there. By this time, my husband had left and, he was at work already. And so I come home, I take the pregnancy test, y'all, and it pops up pregnant. So I didn't tell my husband yet because I was going to tell him when he got home. I was just going to show him the test or whatever when he got home, right? So he called me on the phone, y'all, and he talking mad junk, like on his actual way home or whatever, like, still talking about like me not being pregnant, And I'm like, that's why we is pregnant or whatever. And he like, yeah, right. And I'm like, no, for real. He was like, babe, stop lying. I'm like, no, we're pregnant. And he was like, oh, shit, like, like, y'all, this man gonna sit here and tell me, I thought your stuff didn't work no more. I'm like, well, news flash, it do, like, So he came home, he was, he saw the pregnancy test, he was in utter shock or whatever. And so I make a doctor's appointment or whatever. We go to the doctor. I end up doing a pregnancy test at the doctor's office, and it came back positive. So, she was like, okay, let me set you up with a midwife. You know what I'm saying? Set you up an ultrasound. Let's see how far along you are. She prescribed me some prenatals and stuff like that. And then it went from there. We went and got our first ultrasound. And it's so crazy because after I found out I was pregnant, I would say not even a week later, y'all, I started having like these severe cramps in my lower abdomen, like my pelvis area or whatever. So I'm like, yo, like it's getting crazy or whatever. And so I'm telling my husband or whatever, and he decides that like, we should wait until I hit 3 months to tell anybody that I'm pregnant or whatever, like, out of the first trimester. So I'm like, cool or whatever, because we don't know what's going on or whatever. So I end up going to the emergency room, me and my sister or whatever. My husband was here with the kids. He was going to end up going with me, but it was like 9 o'clock or like 7, I would say like 7 o'clock that night or whatever, when I started feeling all these pains. And it was like real bad pains or whatever. And so my husband was here with the girls. The girls had school the next day or whatever. Otherwise, him and the girls would have had to come with me. So I'm like, babe, you just stay here with the kids or whatever. I'll find somebody to go with me. So I called my sister. Me and my sister end up going to the hospital and whatever. They end up doing an ultrasound at the hospital. They did blood work. And they was like, everything looks normal. They was like, it's probably just implantation cramps or whatever. So I'm like, I have 2 kids already. I never experienced this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I never experienced the cramps and the pains or whatever. So I'm like, okay, whatever. And so, like, it got so bad. It started happening every single night. So they did tell me at the hospital to follow up with my midwife or whatever. I did that. And she was like, she kind of confirmed, like, yeah, like, that makes sense or whatever. Like, just take some time off, take some Tylenol or whatever. So I end up taking off of work. So now mind you, this was at 5 weeks. I found out I was pregnant at 5 weeks. So come that 11-week mark, I'm still having these cramps. And now they started to become, instead of cramp, they started to become pain. So I'm like, yo, like it's like a mixture of cramps and pain or whatever. So I end up going back to my doctor and I'm like, implantation cramp shouldn't last this long. Like, I'm 11 weeks pregnant. Like, why is it this long? You know what I'm saying? Now mind you, I haven't been back to work or nothing. Like, everything is just crazy. Like, I'm in so much pain or whatever. I literally had to pull out a step stool to climb in and out of bed or whatever. So she like, oh yeah, those could be like, first trimester round ligament pains and, like all of this stuff. And basically the whole entire time they said that it's nothing that they could do for me. It was nothing that they could do for the implantation cramps. It was nothing that they could do for the round ligament pains. She was just like, get you some rest, take Tylenol. Understand that pregnant women can't take a lot of things, but y'all know Tylenol don't do nothing. Oh, and on top of all of this, y'all, while I was going through all of this, the entire time I was having migraines, y'all. When I say migraines, I mean migraines. And normally, outside of pregnancy, I have migraines or whatever, and I just pop some Excedrin, boom, I'm good. But since I'm pregnant, I can't take Excedrin. And so the migraines never went away. I'm talking about day and night. So imagine cramps and pain, migraines where I can't even see some days. Like, I literally have to lay in the dark on top of morning sickness. Like, everything made me sick or whatever. I was barely taking my prenatals. My husband and my mama was getting on me, y'all, because I ended up telling my mama soon. After I went to the hospital, because I ended up getting scared, like thinking, the worst. We ain't even going to put it out in the atmosphere, but y'all know the worst or whatever, like with all this pain and stuff like that. And so they both getting on me, like, you got to take your prenatals. My mama ended up buying me some Boost and stuff. And she like, if you're not eating or drinking, like, you got to stay hydrated. My husband bought me some Gatorades or whatever. Because, like, like, if y'all ever been sick, like, I don't know if it's just me or if y'all can experience this too, but water is disgusting when you're sick, okay? Like, when you, like, I don't know, it's just disgusting. So my husband bought me some Gatorades, like my mom bought me some Boost or whatever, so they both getting on. They're like, you at least got to take your prenatal, like, you know what I'm saying, you got to keep the baby healthy. And I didn't want to seem like I was being, like, rebellious or whatever, or, like, but it's just, like, y'all have to understand, when you're sick, and I was having so much food aversion, and I didn't even know what food aversions were, y'all, until this pregnancy, right? Because I never experienced this stuff. So just thinking about food, looking at food, anything made me sick. Y'all, I literally lost 10 pounds. 10 pounds in my first trimester, y'all. That's how much I was not eating. I couldn't drink. I couldn't do nothing. So some days I would force myself to take my prenatals or whatever. And the doctor did prescribe me some nausea medication. Didn't work. I swear, y'all, it made me 10 times sicker. Like when she gave me that it was the stuff, I forgot the name of it, but it's like dissolve under your tongue or whatever. Y'all, when I took that, I literally threw up for like 2 minutes straight. And that may not sound like a long time, but when you're actually physically throwing up and you can't stop, and y'all ever throw up so much you start to get like pain and cramps in your stomach, that's how much I started throwing up. So I stopped taking that crap ASAP. I'm like, heck no. Yo, I was just going through so much stuff this pregnancy. Like, it was just crazy. Going back and forth to the doctor. Continued to do ultrasound. So at like 10 weeks, she had did the, what is it, like the, I think it's called an odometer. Something, whatever they put on your belly to hear the heartbeat. So we did that. Like, everything kept coming back normal. Baby was fine the whole entire time. We did several ultrasounds already or whatever. Baby kept looking fine, in the right position. But they did say that the baby was a little small or whatever. Like, when I went back for the second ultrasound, they did say that the baby was a little small or whatever. That's when my husband and my mama really started getting on me too. Like, drink these boosts. Like, even if you can't eat, drink your boost, drink your Gatorade or whatever. Like, try to eat something. And then I finally had ordered me some strawberries, and that was like a saving grace for me. So I was finally able to eat, like, y'all, when I tell y'all I was eating like a pound, I would get like the 1 pound. Sometimes I would order like the 2 pound carton of strawberries. Y'all, I was going through that a day. Like, that was literally the only thing that I could eat. My husband like, Dad, you eat all the strawberries. I was like, it is. Like, you better order 2 cartons, 2 containers. Like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all, it was just hectic. So when I hit that 3-month mark, and then that's the thing, my doctor kept saying, oh, everything should go away when you hit your, second trimester. All of this is like first trimester, da, 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 da. So I'm like, okay, second trimester come along, still in pain. Still, the only thing that eased up were the migraines. I was still having morning sickness. I was still in pain, still having to climb in and out of bed with my little step stool. Still wasn't working, y'all. And when I tell y'all, I was in bed all day. And that's when it got to the point where I was just like, I can't do social media anymore. Like, I wasn't posting anymore or none of that. And I apologize because I know, like, and y'all made me feel so special, y'all. Y'all was just like, where you been at, and like comment on all my videos. And I was like, me, little old me, they notice I'm gone. They notice I'm not posting. So I do thank y'all for that. I truly, truly, truly love y'all. Like, that meant the world to me or whatever. So I did promise y'all this video, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and give it to them because obviously they like me or whatever. It can feel kind of good, and I like y'all too. I love y'all. But yes, y'all. So second trimester, like I said, the only thing that eased up was the migraines or whatever, which I was thankful for because, look, take away one thing. Okay, so I was still having the pains, still having the morning sickness. Like a week later, the morning sickness finally had eased up or whatever. And so I'm like, okay. And then the pains, they started going from like all day pains to like they will only come at nighttime. Like, I could go all day without being in pain. Like, it would be like mild cramps. And then come nighttime, it was like severe pain. And I'm like, yo, like, what is going on? And I didn't want to go back to the hospital because I'm like, yo, I've been back and forth to the hospital already. Like, they just keep sending me home, telling me, ain't nothing that they can do. Baby look good. Take some Tylenol. So I'm like, I'm not going to the hospital or whatever. Like, basically just keeping in contact with my doctor or my OB or my midwife or whatever. And then she's doing blood work. She's doing tests, urine tests, all type of stuff. STD tests, everything is coming back negative. And so she basically just keeps telling me, round ligament pains, basically ain't nothing that they could do for me. And y'all, it's just like, it's in your head, there's nothing that they could do for you. But you want them to do something for you, like, because I'm like, and then like my mom kept scaring me, like, girl, I had that my whole pregnancy. Like, girl, don't nobody want to hear that. Like, don't put that bad juju on me, because if I have it my whole pregnancy, we're going to have some problems, right? Y'all, so fast forward to like a week before I turned 4 months. That's when the pains finally went away. So I woke up one day and the morning sickness. The morning sickness had left a few days prior to that. But anyways, the pain started going away. So I'm like, I wake up one day, I go to bed, nothing. I wake up the next day, like, I had a day free of pain, like of all symptoms. Like I felt normal for the first time in months or whatever. So I'm like, I don't want to jinx it, but I'm registering it. Second day, cool. I'm like, okay, could I go back to work? Like, am I gonna be pushing it? So I go to work, and my first day back at work, I was still feeling like that. I don't know, for some reason, the nausea and everything came back. Like, I was at work super sick this particular night. Yo, it's crazy because I work in the hospital, and they had called a staff assist / rapid response this particular night. And so that basically means like something is going on like with the patient, like it's an emergency, all hands on deck. Like when you hear like a staff assist rapid response, like you drop everything and then you head to that location or whatever. Y'all, at this particular time when they called it, I was in the bathroom throwing up like crazy. And so I'm like, shoot. So I'm like trying to wipe my face or whatever, and like the throw up just keep coming. Like I'm like, I got these little hospital puke bags that I be stealing from work, y'all. Don't tell nobody. And I'm in the bathroom, I'm puking into my bag or whatever. So I grab a paper towel, I'm trying to wipe my face or whatever. So as I head to the door, more throw up just coming. I'm like, crap, okay. So I'm like, take a second. I throw some water on my face, like calm down, it'll be okay or whatever. Throw some water on my face. So then I'm like, okay, let's go. So I finally make it out the bathroom. I try to like race down the hall because it's on the opposite side of the unit than where I'm at. So I try to race down the hallway and I get like so dizzy. Like I get this dizzy spell where I literally have to grab onto the walls at my job or whatever. Like we got these little handles. Grab on, y'all. And I'm just like in my head, I probably wasn't moving, but in my head, I'm going like this. Like, you know how like when you get dizzy, like you just feel like your world is spinning. So I'm just like, yo, like I can't go. I can't make it to the response or whatever. So I'm just like, forget. At this point, forget it. If I get in trouble, I get in trouble. And mind you, my manager had already knew everything I was going through. So I was like, hey, because my manager don't work third shift. He work first shift, but sometimes he stay over until our shift to, talk with us and stuff like that. I'm like, look, if they tell. Like, I don't even care at this point. Like, because nobody else knew what was going on. But all they would probably know is she didn't respond to the rapid. So at that point, I was like, I don't even care. Forget it. So I had seen one of the nurses later on that night or whatever, and I had my puke bag, another puke bag in my hand or whatever, a clean one, and I was heading to like where the CNAs go to chart or whatever. And so she was like, are you okay? And I was like, She was like, are you sure? Like, do you need to go home or whatever? And I'm like, no, like I'm fine. Like I'm telling myself in my head, I gotta push through. So I did end up making it through that night or whatever. And then I think the next day I had off, and then the next day I went back and I think I was just fine. Like, I've been fine. So that's when I was just like, okay. And then I had like another day or two and like I was just fine or whatever. So like, okay. And I told my husband like, and then it was the day that I had literally had just turned, or it was the day before I turned 4 months. And I had told my husband like, okay, I think it's time like we could start telling people now. And so we ended up telling people. And then on the day that I turned 4 months, I ended up posting it on Facebook or whatever. So a lot of people have found out on Facebook that particular day. And thank you to every single person who said congratulations, who are happy for us. We were in shock, but we're happy now. Like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I know this was kind of a rant, y'all, but I had to explain to y'all in detail everything that I had went through because it was crazy, okay? But yeah, there you have it. That's where I've been at. But I am back now. And now that y'all know, I say if I feel sick and I can't like do like my original content, like food content, like I'll keep it real raw with y'all. I told y'all like this would be like the most realest channel that y'all will be on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna keep it raw. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. If I'm feeling sick or whatever I'm going through, I'm gonna post it. Y'all gonna get some pregnancy content. So make sure y'all following me on all platforms. I'm on Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube, obviously, at Unapologetically J. It's the same name on all platforms. And I'm on Instagram too at Unapologetically J. I need to start posting more on Insta. So, and also I want to like do different content on different platforms, so y'all can go like don't have to follow me on all platforms again. It's in the exact same videos. So I'm gonna figure it out, like what I want to do. Like maybe I'll post like my food content on TikTok, and then like long form videos on YouTube, and maybe pregnancy content on Facebook. I don't know yet. And then probably just post pictures on Insta. I'm gonna figure it out, y'all. But yeah, make sure y'all follow me on all platforms. If you're new to my channel, subscribe to my channel. You will get more pregnancy content, food content. I don't know how I'm gonna break it up yet, but just make sure y'all subscribe and y'all will find out how I break it up, okay? I love y'all so much. Thank y'all so much for watching this video, and I will see y'all in the next video. Mwah.